questions with Steve?
Outside of winning both games, what things are you most pleased about with today?
Defense. I thought we made a handful of plays on defense, and I thought besides one inning, we pounded the strike zone. I think that. And then offensively, when we were good and we kind of lost it a little bit there in the second game, we were very approach-driven. Stayed on some balls, moved some runners, 2-out hits, just played the game of baseball. It's kind of, the wind's blowing in today, and you're not seeing a ton of velo, so, sometimes you have a tendency to overswing. I thought our guys did a good job of just staying locked in.
Robbie?
In some of these games, last couple years against guys that aren't throwing mid-90s, and, it seemed like they could give you some fits. And today, the offense just kind of stayed locked in. You talked about the approach.
And I thought the second game, their guy pitched pretty good. And he stayed in there and gave us some fits and threw his changeup behind in counts. But I thought we were a little bit better today. I think we prepared for it better.
Jacob?
Coach Friday night started for Pico. I guess what did you think of his performance?
I thought it was great. He's been really good here in spring training, and just the delivery, the mechanics, he just pounded the zone, especially those first couple innings. He barely missed a spot, which was impressive for him.
Steve?
Going along, Carson, a little bit of struggle earlier, but it seems like he really settled down. I think he struck out 5 of the last 6. How would you kind of assess his performance?
Yeah, they got him a little bit early, and but man, I think he found the off speed. And when they can't sit on the fastball, he's having a hard time finding it right out the chute. So I thought once he found it, it's just hard to sit on anything because his breaking stuff is really good.
Benjamin?
But a 7 RBI day for Aaron Downs. Didn't even start the first game and still had some big hits in both contests today. What did you see out of him, and where can he sort of fit in going forward here?
He's had a good spring. His last couple of weeks have been really good too, and he's the guy in the program that's been around our. He's probably the most loved kid in our program, from our teammates to the people in the community, and he's just he's had a good career in ways, but hadn't had that big year yet, and sometimes that senior does, and no better guy to get it from because he's super talented. He's just fought through some injuries, fought through some stuff, and really happy for him today.
Steve?
It's been one of those things, last few weekends, scrimmages, everybody's played, but then this weekend it's kind of a carryover too. How important is that to your clubhouse to be able to play so many people and them to have some quality at bats?
Well, I made the comment to the team after the game. We, a problem I have is, we got some really good players, and we probably, have a couple extra. So two of my lefties start in the first game, and I don't start them in the second game. They have 2 big hits there late, right? Reed Stallman and Nolan Stevens, and we have a good group, so they're going to have to be able to handle that a little bit. And but I was happy for them. They did a lot of good things today.
Robbie?
I was going to ask about Aaron too. I mean, how big is it for him to just have sustained at bats and being in there for a while now without the injuries, because that seems like that's really kept him behind?
That's been a big piece. I mean, I think playing the game and just maybe maturity, the older player confidence. There's been guys here in this program that first couple of years they've been okay players, and then finish with that great one. I'm hoping that's what he's about to do.
David?
What was the pitch plan for Carson's first time out this year?
That was 4. We were going, I don't know if but we weren't going too far with him. We've been doing some extra stuff with him this week, so we wanted to get through 4. And we wanted to get, you're trying to get extra arms in there for some guys. So poor Mackay was down there hot in the bullpen when we hit the homer. So, but we got to get guys work. You want to get them touches on that rubber. You can see Park trying to get guys in there just to get the experience, to feel it. For some, our bullpen's very talented, but the experience at the dude isn't probably as much as some others. So we want to get them out there as many times as we can.
Jacob?
Coach, what did you see from Ross behind the plate today?
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he was a lot better behind the plate than in right field early there. So, but he hadn't had a chance to be out in right as much. That's we got to get him more work out there because he's so athletic and dynamic. I think it's where you see it is the offensive side. He is. Besides Dave and Mershawn, he's probably as good a base runner as I've coached. I mean, those 2 guys, they just have an instinct for it, and he can fly, on top of it. But he's a really good base runner.
Steve?
Lineup composition, you elected to go with Ross at the 2-hole, and then it seemed like he was on base like every time, and then Hines in the 5-hole. Kind of what was your thought process behind constructing it that way?
We got the 2 big lefties in the middle. I think that's the biggest thing. And then you got a guy. I thought the hit of the day was in the first when Noah Sullivan hits the backside gap, and Noah is probably your most professional hitter you got in there, him and Bryce Chance. They'll just take what the pitcher gives them, use the backside. If you watch Noah, he'll crush a ball and hit it out to left, but so putting him in between the two big lefties was that piece. And then, you know, Sawyer and Ross have been so good, you know, and they kind of work. They can both bump for hit, they can both steal, they can both run, they both have power, so you can do a lot. You know, the lineup's a little more dynamic, I think.
David.
How will you spend the unexpected day off here?
I know. I tell you what, I'm a lot better coach than a meteorologist, so I don't even know if it's raining still tomorrow or no.
I think so.
I hope so. So everybody earlier in the weeks, you got to change it. And so we're going to practice. We'll have a light practice in the afternoon. And, you know, I'm kind of a baseball nerd, so I'm going to watch a lot of college baseball. So I'm sure watching other teams, and I'm excited that it's back on the TV.
Doug.
Coach, you talked about having options and starting lineup, and then also we had two different catchers today. So do you think we're going to see anybody Sunday that we haven't seen already?
No, I think you saw position player wise. You'll see some new arms, obviously, but not position player wise. And I got them all out there, I think, at least for an at bat. So, but we have a nice rotation. Our catchers have a nice rotation in there. I think in the outfield we're going to be able to do some different things to match up, maybe an extra left-handed bat here and there. And same with our infield, we can do it too. I mean, there's you know, Lucas Buckner and Gatlin Sanders are two good lefties that are in there too if we need to get an extra bat in the lineup. So just a little more flex and diversity from that lineup.
Do you think it'll be Ross or Joe catching?
Well, probably Ross, you know, but Joe could. I thought Joe, I even spoke to the umpire there in like the sixth, and I said, hey man, are you able to? He said, man, I like umpiring behind your catcher, you know, which is a great call. I thought Joe was great. He had two big plays out there, threw a guy out, and then on the third strike, you know, made that play, be able to throw that guy out. So we have a good, I don't ever want to kill one of the guys. And I don't think Ross, coming back from what he's coming from, can catch every day. So we're going to need Joe, we're going to need Jackson Owen, we're going to need Steven Spolita, we're going to need all four.
All right, thank you.